And please welcome to the stage your favorite podcast, and that's why we drink.
Hello. Hi, guys. We love you too. Here's the thing. That song has a different meaning to me now because we were in Las Vegas last weekend.
You'll hear all about it in the next episode.
I'll give you a sneak peek. Essentially, I was put in a blindfold and brought on stage, and let's just say I really blacked out.
Me too. Because I had to watch it, and
my mom had a great time, so
I think Renata was the only one who was proud of Christine.
she was standing up like, yes. She said she, maybe I shouldn't
Let's
say
just
that.
say they reenacted 50 Shades of Grey on Christine. And I know so much about my best friend now.
Also, my brother was there. Okay.
Him and I were like, you shield my eyes, I'll shield yours, and we were both just, and then he also, you'll find out.
He had an experience.
You'll find out.
I still love the song. I don't care. Hi, Nashville. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to ask a question. Who came to CrimeCon?
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh,
I just wanted to see if anyone was, like, loyal.
Everyone else needs to get out. Oh, they're poor. It's fine.
That's okay. That's okay. I get it.
We get that very much. My arms are really... Okay, here's the thing. Em doesn't like when I tell this joke, but...
Here's the thing.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Listen, we just flew in from Los Angeles. And boy... Drink. And boy, are my arms tired. Get it?
Our first live show ever was in Nashville at CrimeCon, and that was her fucking lead. And I
planned it for like 3 weeks.
She warned me on the plane. She was like, look, when we get up there, I'm going to go first because I have something really good to say.
I was like, I can't tell you, though. It's a surprise.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not going to tell you. And then I was like, all right, let's hear it. And I heard that, and I was like, wow, that was a lot of hours wasted on my...
I think it killed.
Killed.
Did
you do that on
it?
purpose?
This is no, but yes.
Okay.
This is a podcast about...
Killing.
Yeah.
What?
Ghosts, death.
50% killing. Someone killing.
There's a lot of wine also.
Let's just get into the stories because I can't handle this.
Look at these chairs.
Yeah, okay.
They asked if we wanted the fancy chairs. We were like, duh. Do you know us?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a talk show. Okay.
Let me know if I flash anybody. Apparently I did that at
I'm not
Chippendales.
All right. Who wants to hear a ghost story? All right.
Let's do it.
Well, let me see. All right. I wanted to add suspense, so there's that.
While we try to figure out the clicker.
I also just don't know what slides I put in because I was sleep deprived when I did this. So it's abstract, you know. Okay, I'm going to do the Rotherwood.
Rotherwood? Okay, Emma's like, the audience will know how to pronounce it.
I literally... We Googled YouTube videos. I can't stop myself. I'm just going to
You got to scoot forward. Every video we Googled back at the hotel
nobody
was
said
like,
the name, so I was like, okay, well, everyone
it was a
here's
lot
from
of
Tennessee.
senile,
They'll figure it out.
a lot of really old people.
Well, now I'm going to get a bunch of emails that I said it wrong, but what don't I say wrong these days? So,
Let's say Rotherwood.
I'm going to call it Rotherwood. Is everyone cool with that? All right.
We can blame them now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here is the Rotherwood Mansion. And there it is. The end. So.
My turn.
All right. It looks creepy, right? Like, you see it and you're like, that's a haunted
actually
house.
look very creepy.
Okay. So this is this is also in Kingsport, Tennessee. Do we know where that is? Yeah? I don't. Like Tri-Cities?
How do you know that?
Because Tri-Cities is part of, like, Virginia's involved. VA? Anyone? Hey!
Ohio? Ohio?
Okay, this is going to take forever. Okay.
What are other states?
Calm down.
Wait, let's find other states to say out loud.
Oh my gosh.
They're good at this
Lord.
game. Birmingham.
You guys can just do this for an hour, and I'll just. Are you okay?
No. I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, it's in Kingsport. Everyone got really excited about that. Okay, so.
Okay.
It was a private home above the Holston River. Yes. Oh, all right.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you. One bullet in. So it's on the National Registry of Historic Places, and it is nicknamed the House of Terror and Sadness.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that reaction was that everyone... was that laughter or like, ugh?
I think it was like a, oh no?
Okay. It was built in 1818 by Frederick Ross, who founded the town of Rossville, which became Kingsport. Did everyone know this, or was that just a fun fact for me? Okay, great.
I had a lot of fun.
Fun fact. Oh, people should drink also when I throw in fun facts.
I always mean to add that one in. Fun fact that M never includes.
Okay, well, fun fact. This is apparently a very bougie place of its time. It had curved driveways.
Oh, Lord.
Don't you do that to me with the curves. Okay, so, and I don't know. You give me a microphone and I just kind of keep talking into it.
God damn it.
Also, it had column-lined porches and a pool on the roof.
Sorry, that seems like a terrible
That
idea.
is class.
Oh, okay.
I mean, wait till I have a mansion. You're going to see some real interesting shit on that. So he was considered nice because he treated his slaves well, but like...
What a good guy.
Like,
he's like,
thanks.
yeah, baby.
Like, you still had slaves, but okay.
Listen, everything's relative. I don't know.
All right, so unlike other slave owners, he treated them well. And who's caught up, by the way, on the episodes? Okay. So
Not everyone.
Okay, for those who aren't, I apparently don't know the word wanton.
There was a lot of struggle around wonton. M just casually was like saying something very serious, like a wonton person. I was like, a wonton?
Such a wonton. And then it sounded racist, and I was like, oh no, it sounded really bad.
Oh, I never looked at it that way.
Oh, I got some personal DMs about that, and I felt very bad.
No, M just truly doesn't really, English isn't his first language.
No.
It's not mine either, to be honest.
You're welcome, guys. So, but no, anyway, I would actively like to not use that word, but then, wouldn't you know it, the fates found me this story where the word wanton was used 5 different times. So, anyway, he had slaves but treated them well, so that made him a good person, and he did not engage in wanton cruelty.
That was so good.
It's like hooked on phonics. I'm like using it properly, I think. Okay, so, time to move on. Yay. Okay, here's our first one. That's why we draw. Everyone knows how this goes, right? Okay.
Some people don't.
Some people don't?
Yeah, some people do not.
Okay, I'm going to just lay it out for you. So, before we came on stage and we were doing research for our stories, we found some phrases. Wait. Something's moving behind me? What the fuck? Oh, don't do that during a ghost show. Or a serial killer show.
Yeah, that's true. That one's scarier.
Okay, so we posted a bunch of phrases that would be involved in our stories without any context and had people send in their interpretations of what they thought we were talking about. So this is we each do 3. So this is the first of one of my 3. So the perfect woman. What could that mean, you say? And I had to do this because someone was really nice. Someone said Alice.
Oh, come on. Blah.
It worked.
Sierra.
Also, I like this because this gives
Why
everyone...
isn't it me?
You got to ask the audience that. I didn't get any pictures of you.
I have a lot of questions.
So, anyway, so this also gives everyone like a little image. Like, put that in your head. Not Allison, just like a girl. Okay, so the reason Perfect Woman is involved in my story is because Ross, he had several children. He had 15 children, and he...
Several, yes.
Yeah, several indeed. A baker's dozen and some. But he only loved his daughter, Rowena?
Oh, that's the name of my car.
Rowena.
That's my car's name. Ravenclaw. I'm sorry, I'm really
Okay, first
sorry.
we named states. Now we'll do houses. Okay, so he only loved one of his 15 kids. That's nice. And he also treated his slaves well, so he's a great guy.
What a gem.
But Rowena was considered the perfect woman because she was well-liked, very educated, went to like the hoity-toity schools. And she was an artist. She loved to sing. She was kind to everyone, including the slaves, just like her father. And she had many men chasing her.
Wow.
So she was quite a catch.
So just like Allison. I'm sorry. That did not go over well. I'm sorry. It was a joke.
It didn't land.
I loved her first.
Allison's ears are ringing somewhere.
Oh, no. You're going to be in trouble later.
So, yeah, she was well-liked. There you go. And then she fell in love with a man from another town who, in different records where she wrote letters to her friends, she called him Doctor, which I don't know how to take. And it just sounds weird. Like, his name wasn't Doctor. She just gave him that nickname, and no one else did.
It was like a sexy nickname.
It's like Daddy, but... I know, but more professional.
Just drink. Drink on principle. Drink on principle.
Just get blackout drunk now.
God damn. I'm going to.
So, anyway, she was with Doctor and fell in love, was going to get married, and then her dad, Frederick, bought them a house and he built the house nearby. He built it right across the river from his house, the Rotherwood Mansion, and he built them an exact identical mansion, which screams narcissism to me. And except the original was red and theirs was entirely white, like entirely white, like it's like everything, like I don't know. It was like too white. It was very weird.
Okay, got it.
Like, I'm gonna stop talking. So, before they even moved in, the house burned to the ground.
That's not funny. I'm sorry. That's just like a twist, you know?
Yeah, it was a game changer. So they say that was the beginning of Rowena's bad luck because on her wedding day to the Doctor, Rowena's groom and his friends decided to go fishing.
Oh, no.
First of all, on their wedding day,
no, but people
he went
do
fishing
that.
with his fucking friends. They do?
Isn't that a thing in the South? No, I don't know. Everyone goes, no.
I don't know. I just wouldn't want to, like, go smell like fish on my wedding day, you know? It happens. Great. So him and his friends took a small boat out, and they were, like, still close enough to the land that she could see them, and she watched the boat capsize.
No.
I don't know what you're drinking to, but sure.
Gasp. My gasp.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying yes, and I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Also that.
Oh.
Also that.
I was like, sure, I'm not gonna judge you. So anyway, the boat capsized, and the currents were pulling them under. There was 4 people.
Oh, no.
All of the friends survived, and the husband did not.
Oh, no.
Bummer. So...
Bummer indeed.
So then she clearly was not okay, and she ended up hiding in her room for 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Then she came out and decided that she was going to find someone else, and she fell in love, this time a man named Edwards, like an actual name. And then her and Edward got married, and only months later died from yellow fever.
I mean, come on.
She fell into another depression, and this time stayed in her room for a decade.
Oh, honey.
Like, whoa, wow. That's a long time. I mean, not making fun of that, but also that's a long time.
No, it's very sad.
So for a third time, she was like, okay, third time's a charm. I gotta do this.
I mean, good for her for
I'd be done.
Trying again, right?
So she found and married another man, and this time they had a daughter. 6 years later, the daughter died.
What?
It's interesting how a whole room of people can laugh at that. So she heard his...
Someone said it's nervous laughter,
No,
which is
it
what
is.
you
It's
always
totally-
say, and I was
it's
like,
always
that's
nervous laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she's dealing with that. And then she went back to the mansion to visit her dad, and she saw the ghost of her first love, the Doctor.
Sorry.
Sultry. So she heard his voice calling to her and saw his hands reaching out from the river outside where he died.
No.
So some say she might have just hallucinated that. But she believed it enough and thought that she could go pull him out. This is like 18 years later, by the way.
That's
So
really
it's
sad.
That night, she went out into the water to reach for his hand, and then she never came back up.
Are you kidding me?
No, ma'am. So, let's say bye to her.
Yeah, and what are you drinking? People want to know.
Oh, I'm drinking a Coke.
I know, I don't
a
ever
Coke
ask,
float
but-
from Hattie B's.
That Eva went and got.
That Eva got for me.
Thank you, Eva.
Eva's just... Okay, let's stop for a second and talk about Eva. Let's all drink, by the way.
Hey, I said when we talk about Eva, and you made fun of me, but now
I know, but here we are. Eva was such a trooper today because we were on a plane and we all sat in a row together, and Christina and I were both sobbing our eyes out. 1, 2, love Simon. 1, 2...
I cried for the entire movie.
And 1, 2, for the 7th time of seeing Infinity War. And I wept, and I wept,
and I kept looking over, and we were both just like tear streamed. And then
At
I
one
looked at
point,
Eva,
we
and
were
she was
both
just kind
doing
of-
this
Oh yeah.
about very different scenes.
Apparently, Eva was listening to My Dad Wrote a Porno and was just like living
Every
her
now and then I'd
best
see
life.
her little head be like checking in, like just, are you
and was
okay?
like, they're still sobbing. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Anyway, so she got Emma a milkshake or a Coke float. From,
Yes.
Anyway,
So thank you,
thank
Eva.
you, Eva. We love you. Hashtag thank
I think
you,
we should
Eva.
just make it a thing where we always just like make a toast to Eva at the beginning of these. So, yes. Okay, so Frederick Ross, the dad, he, after his daughter went into the river.
his favorite child, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, she was the golden kid. So he was in a deep depression, and he failed several of his business ventures. He just like wasn't doing hot. He was forced to sell his property to his bookkeeper named Joshua Phipps. And before he sold the property, he freed as many slaves as he possibly could.
Oh, okay, all right.
One of which was the ancestor of Diana Ross. Fun fact!
Drink.
And that's where Diana Ross's last name comes from. They took the Frederick
Rutherford?
Ross's because
Got it.
her ancestors were his slaves.
Wow. Oh.
That feels good to say.
Okay. All right.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. I'm sorry.
Just
about
drink.
history
Just take a
in
drink.
general. So Frederick Ross.
Sorry about history in general. Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
So Frederick Ross freed the slaves, but that's the only reason he freed the slaves is because he knew that since he was selling the property to Joshua Phipps, the slaves were now going to be under Joshua Phipps' control, and Joshua Phipps was an asshole. And he was trying to save the slaves because apparently Joshua Phipps was very willing to be very cruel.
Great.
He was a wonton. So
I just still remember that moment of you saying it, and I'm being
you
like,
watched my eyes die a little.
and me saying like, don't say anything, and being like, a wonton? And you were like, yeah.
It was edited out, but there's a good 10 minutes of us being like, Eva, should
No,
we keep that in?
wonton,
Let's get rid
wonton.
of that. Let's keep that in. Let's just keep it in because I'm gonna say some other stupid shit eventually.
Hashtag thank you, Eva.
Okay, so Eva, people are getting drunk for you, man.
I said when we mentioned
So
her.
Frederick Ross freed the slaves because he was trying to save them from Joshua Phipps, but he couldn't save everyone, so there were some unlucky people that did not get freed. And Joshua Phipps added cells to the basement with dirt walls, dirt floors, no protection from weather elements, and whipping posts in every room so he could whip them wherever he felt like it.
No.
Yowza. Okay, so we just watched this YouTube video. We watched this YouTube video trying to figure out the name of the
was
mansion, and she
real
didn't say
weird.
it. So her name is Jill Ellis of Kingsport, and she spoke about her experience living in the cells as a child.
Oh, now I get the context.
Yes, I was like,
Because she
remember
was
this
like,
girl.
I'm 87.
Yeah.
I was born in a hospital. And I was like, what is this video?
Well,
It
you're about
makes
to
more
hear
sense.
more from her.
It makes
so
more sense now. Okay.
That's probably the nicest things she said that you're going to hear tonight. So
Okay.
this is what she had to say about being a child on the property.
No.
And I don't like saying
Why
it
did
out
you
loud.
do this to us?
The stench was overpowering. One could imagine hearing the moaning, the wailing, the crying, the misery, and the despair. In the front room on the 3rd floor, facing the river, was a whipping post that slaves were shackled to. Blood stains are still embedded into the wood floors, and during days of heavy moisture, the wood would expand and the blood stains would show up again.
Oh,
Not to be like a total bummer, but that like, it needed to be said.
way to crush the mood.
I know. I'm sorry. So one of the things she also said in another report is that Phipps built his favorite whipping post, in the house facing the river because he wanted a view.
Okay. All right.
Like, he's a sick guy. Okay, so.
Correct.
He was known to beat his slaves so furiously that neighboring landowners reported hearing the screams. And he said when he died, he wanted to be buried standing up on top of the hill so we could keep watching the slaves in agony.
Okay, so he's a true psychopath.
I really just want to get through
Truly.
this. He had a mistress on the side who his wife actually knew about but was too scared to say anything.
Oh, great.
And the mistress was actually reported to be more cruel than him, which I won't get into detail.
Thank you.
Phipps was also not just cruel to his slaves, but equally cruel to his family.
Oh, good.
So he was just cruel to everyone. His daughter,
asshole.
Priscilla, fell in love with a man who had to go fight in the Civil War, and Phipps was high enough that he was able to arrange his daughter's true love to get murdered before he even got there, and then say he died in a line of battle. When she got the letter or like the knock on the door that he was dead, he laughed in her face and said that he was the one who had arranged it.
What an asshole.
And when she asked why, he just kept laughing and then walked away. This is truly a horrible man. So
What the hell, Em?
I know. Okay, next picture.
It's supposed to be a comedy show.
It's okay. It's going to be funny again. That's the fun thing. This is an emotional roller coaster for all of us.
We just want to drain you of all your energy.
Yes, I want you to go home exhausted. So, okay, second one, paranormal justice. Yes, okay, paranormal justice. Sorry. Clearly we're on the fly here. Okay.
Oh. Shit.
This is... I don't know who everyone is.
Explain everything.
I think this is Peggy or Annabelle.
The doll.
It's Annabelle. Are you? Yes.
But it looks like Peggy the doll.
It could be. Well, yes.
Okay, you listen to Sunday's episode.
Just listen to
you'll
Sunday's
understand.
episode. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You heard it here
Wink,
first.
wink, boop, boop.
That could be a doll named Peggy. That might get discussed.
Who knows?
I think that's Satan. I can't tell. I can't be sure. So anyway, thank you, Marina.
What?
Look, I asked a favor, and Marina
I'm pretty sure we just
brought the game.
I'm pretty sure we just cursed everyone in this room with this photo. Sorry.
She might have chanted over the picture before she sent it to
Like
us.
truly.
When your check engine light beeps on, do you worry if it's routine maintenance or something more serious?
Yes.
Correct. Me too.
Correct.
And
I aced the
correct.
test.
You are correct. You win 100%.
Yes.
Shady mechanics, who I'm sure we've both had the pleasure of knowing well.
Oh, yeah.
Love the check engine light because most people have no idea why theirs is on and or how urgent it is. So
Right.
they basically have the perfect opportunity to rip you off, and that can cost you thousands in unnecessary car repairs.
Yes, been there.
Been there.
Been there. Well, Fixed is like a health monitor for your car. It constantly scans your car for problems and tells you in plain English what's wrong with your car, which is exactly what I need. Mm-hmm. It's an automatic sensor that plugs into your car and connects to the free Fixed app on your smartphone. It helps eliminate the fear of not knowing what's wrong with your car or how much it will cost, and it prevents paying thousands of dollars for unnecessary car repairs.
It's really amazing. Basically, any car made after 1996, you can just plug it right on in. No tools required. I plugged mine in, and I just looked at the little app, and it was like, oh, you have this car? It's right below the steering wheel. And I just click, and I was in. It was amazing. I scan my car kind of regularly with my Fixed app because I'm just convinced that something is bound to happen. And I'm kind of weirdly excited to be able to like pinpoint what's going on with my app.
Truly, it's a godsend.
I'm actually planning, because my brother's car broke down on the way to Vegas, and I was like, why didn't I buy him one before that? Like, it would have been so much better because they truly didn't know what was wrong with it. It's just a miracle product, in my opinion. Basically, Fix was created by 3 Georgia Tech grads who wanted to create a simple, easy-to-use product that would eliminate a shady mechanic's ability to rip people off because of the average customer, aka Christina M's, lack of knowledge.
Yes, and Fixed is currently selling over 50,000 units each month.
Damn.
You can get exact repair cost estimates before going to the mechanic.
That's the best part.
You can tell the mechanic what you need done, and you already know how much it's going to cost, so they can't rip you off that way either.
Basically, it's able to alert you to over 7,000 potential issues, which blows my freaking mind that it can even know that.
I didn't even know my car could have 7,000 issues.
It's a little scary.
It's kind of, it's a fun threat.
It is.
And you can monitor multiple cars from your smartphone, aka your brother's now.
That's really true. I really need to work on that. Right now, Fixed is running an amazing limited time offer. If you buy 2 Fixed devices, you get 1 free. That's buy 2 Fixed and get 1 faux free, which is what I'm planning on doing for my brother, for Blaze, for anybody else that might need one. Plus, our listeners will get an additional 10% off their entire order if you enter the promo code DRINK at www.listentomycar.com. Go to www.listentomycar.com and enter promo code DRINK for an additional 10% off the already discounted price.
Casper is a sleep brand that makes expertly designed products to help you get your best rest one night at a time.
Actually, did you know, Em, that you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping?
I spend 2/3 of my life sleeping.
So, since that's the case, you really should be comfortable while you sleep.
And I am with my Casper mattress.
Correct. I don't know why I keep doing that.
Correct. Correctamundo. The experts at Casper work tirelessly to make a quality sleep surface that cradles your natural geometry, which I failed, by the way, in all the right places.
The original Casper mattress combines multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with the right amounts of both sink and bounce.
Oh, I love a good bounce.
You gotta love both, you know.
With over 20,000 reviews and an average of 4.8 stars across Casper, Amazon, and Google.
Dang.
Casper is becoming the internet's most favorite mattress.
So there are 2 options that Casper offers, the Wave and the Essential. So the Wave features a patent-pending premium support system that mirrors the natural shape of your body, while the Essential has a streamlined design at a price that won't keep you up at night.
Thank God.
Thank God, I don't need more things keeping me up at night.
So it's all designed, developed, and assembled in the USA. Whoop. And there's affordable prices because Casper cuts out the middleman and sells directly to you.
So if you're not completely satisfied, there are hassle-free returns, but we think you will be. And Casper offers free shipping and returns in both the US and Canada. Your favorite.
You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free Sleep On It trial.
We love our Casper mattresses. I mean, at least I do.
Oh, no, I do.
I had a mattress that I actually really liked, and I was kind of like, oh gosh, I have a really nice mattress, and then I put it downstairs in the guest room, and the first night at my Casper, I was like, no, I didn't have a nice mattress. This is a nice mattress. I love it. Blaze loves it. I highly recommend it.
So if you want your own, you can get $50 towards your select mattresses by visiting casper.com/drink.
And using promo code DRINK at checkout.
Terms and conditions apply.
Beep.
Okay. Anyway,
are we going to have to keep
good
looking?
Good luck sleeping tonight.
So we got to keep looking at this?
Yeah, you get to keep looking at this for a second.
Oh, great. Okay.
Also, I just definitely cleared my throat in case people wanted to like play the fair game.
Thanks. It's not just me.
So, for good reason, because Joshua Phipps was just a grade A dick.
Yeah.
It's believed that in retaliation, he was cursed by one or several of his slaves. So,
sure,
right,
of
good.
course.
I kind of hope so. So, in 1861, Phipps found himself very ill, and the doctors could not explain his condition. He was feverish and delusional and could no longer really move. He was just bedridden.
Oh.
Yeah, aw.
Oh.
I hope you get better.
I hope they did that.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
I hope they did that bloodletting. You know, they did that. They were like, let's put leeches all over you. I don't know. That seems like a... I'm sorry. Keep talking.
You got it.
No, don't make me keep talking. Go.
It's a fun role reversal when you don't know what you're doing.
No, I don't like it.
Anyway, so he was bedridden. He was quarantined in the carriage house, and a young slave was assigned to keep watch and fan him to keep him cool. If I were that slave, I would have been like, peace, bitch. But anyway, he was obedient, and the boy was fanning Phipps when he had been sleeping for days, like was just incoherent. He was fanning Phipps while he was sleeping, and then out of nowhere, for the first time in several days, Phipps snapped awake from his sleep, his eyes fixated on something behind the boy, and the boy turned around to see, quote, a buzzing cloud made of hundreds of flies formed from nowhere.
Oh, no.
The cloud of flies got thicker until the entire cloud moved as one towards Phipps. They covered his face, their tiny, hairy legs poking into his open eyes. Yeah. Ow, ow! What else? They ran themselves up his nostrils, into his ears, and down his mouth. This is still a quote.
M's not.
I'm not like a writer. I'm not a good writer all of a sudden. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. The swarm was so thick that Phipps finally started to suffocate, choking to death on the living, buzzing flies.
Oh my God.
The poor boy who's watching this watched his master go into spasms as, quote, his lungs filled with insects. Gross.
What the actual
He
hell?
Inflated with bugs. He just kept. It's really just heinous. So the boy ran off.
What do you always say? Vomitus.
Grotesque.
Vomitus.
So the boy ran off to get help, and when he returned with Phipps's family and the doctor, Phipps was definitely dead, but there wasn't a fly in sight.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now we can change this.
Thank God.
Another one. Trickster dog.
Oh, is this about you? I miss him so much.
Baby. It's about a happy bug.
I miss him.
I think a lot of people knew exactly what I wanted, and a lot of people fucking delivered. So, and also, what a perfect tie-in. I watched Infinity War today, and Loki is the trickster god. So what did I get?
Oh! Oh my God!
He's so tricky and so handsome.
Look at my boy!
Look at him with the scepter. The
sweetie.
Chitauri scepter.
Look at his demonic face. Truly, this
Oh,
is
my little sweet babu.
What a baby.
Yeah, that was a lot of drinking.
Right. Just finish your drink.
Just down it. Okay.
Oh,
So here's where it gets even creepier. But to keep things lighthearted,
just look at the dog.
the itty bitty baby. So Phipps's funeral is an odd story, however, confirmed by several people who are descendants of the people who attended the funeral.
Right.
So also that means it's just hearsay, but a lot of people swear by this. So the funeral casket was to be pulled by 2 large horses to the cemetery plot, and as hard as they tried, the casket seemed to be cemented to the ground. These large-ass horses could not move this one body, almost as if it was stone.
Or full of flies. Just saying.
I'm just saying with you. So the horses were taken from the casket, and it began to move again. So it was once the horses didn't need to pull it, all of a sudden the body was light enough to move. And then they were like, okay, it moves again. Let's put the horses back on. And they tried, and it was just stuck. So basically, it only worked if humans all hauled together and dragged a casket.
Asshole.
Yeah, till
What a
death.
high maintenance asshole. Seriously.
And so then the river near the plot began to bubble as if it were boiling. Then the casket began to move from the inside. Something was locked in and they were trying to get out. People heard barking inside their own heads. Barking.
What? Is that?
This is the context. It's making sense now. It's making sense.
Sort of. Ish.
You'll figure it out. So, people heard barking inside their own heads and felt invisible tails hitting their legs.
Oh.
You could hear You can hear claws against wood and snarling. And a gigantic black dog jumped out of the casket
What?
and took off into the woods. A lot of people.
Black. No, sorry. I'm sorry.
We did the Harry Potter thing.
I know, but I wanted to bring it back.
So this massive dog jumps out of the casket that a human should be in, and then just takes off into the wind. And the pastor's envy. I mean, he finished the rites, so he did his job. And then he got the fuck out of there. And the coffin was quickly buried. They were like, get it in the fucking ground. And people could hear Phipps's laughter as it happened.
That's so deeply upsetting.
All right, that's a more recent picture.
That's pretty.
It's still present day, I guess now.
Okay.
It's not yet. I lied. So, yep. Okay, so the remaining family members. Oh yeah, this is current day.
Okay, I'm in.
I was sleep deprived when I did this, so even I don't know
That's
what I'm
M's
about to read.
version of drunk.
It truly is.
It
I
is.
just don't ever know. We were just talking about this today. I leave myself gifts when I'm sleep deprived.
It's actually like very unsettling and strange.
And then I wake up to like presents that only I know I'd love.
And was like, yeah, I took a nap and then I woke up to all this Starbucks, my favorite Starbucks on the table. And I was like, oh, did like your roommate Christine or RJ like go get you a drink? And they were like, oh, no, I think I went and did it.
I was like,
and
I think I'm home alone all week.
what? Nobody's
But
here.
it's all
I
definitely
did it.
here.
It's very strange.
Well, not to triangulate my location, but I do live walking distance from a Starbucks.
That doesn't triangulate. There's a Starbucks.
I mean, who's to say? There could be some real good creeps in here. So,
That's fair. That's fair.
but
I'm
yeah,
one to judge.
But so I guarantee you, I was just tired and decided to go, and then took a nap,
It's
and I
just-
was like, wow, this is
the fact that it was
great.
so nonchalant of like, no, I did it for myself unconsciously.
It
I
was not
like,
the first
that's not
time.
All
It
right.
won't be the last either. Okay, so
Good.
the remaining family members living in the mansion began to experience paranormal activity after this whole black dog funeral thing. They saw things moving in the shadows of the house, and they heard animal feet running through the hallways. Also, in case, well, I know I didn't mention this, but in case people haven't caught up there yet, the big black dog is like the welcomer to hell, like your escort to hell.
Right.
Hellhound,
exactly,
It's literally called the
exactly.
Hound of Hell. So someone knows their shit, and it's not me.
And it's not either of us, so.
So they've also heard laughter and sounds of Phipps walking around the home, and Phipps would also appear at night at the foot of your bed.
Good.
They also report that sometimes if you ignored him at the foot of your bed, he would wait until you fell back asleep and then yank the blankets off of you.
Told you, he's a freaking asshole.
This guy does not quit. He didn't get enough when he was alive.
But he's not even in hell. He's just still on Earth, pissing people off.
Some believe that he had risen from the grave just to keep tormenting them. And many
Yeah.
believed he was actually just alive somewhere and stuffed a dog in a coffin.
That's actually really funny. What if he did that?
Fed up with the rumors, the family agreed to dig up the grave to prove that Phipps was actually dead.
Oh, okay.
And when they opened the grave, the coffin was still there, but it was empty.
No! Wait,
And-
what?
And all they found were large black dog hairs. And the dirt around it had not been disturbed. So, no one has touched it since they buried it.
What the fuck?
The activity got worse, probably because they fucking took out a grave. And people started getting pushed and pinched during the day and losing their favorite items. They also started getting pushed down the stairs. I like how it's it gets worse. He pinched me.
You're funny.
You're funny too. We should start a show.
No.
People were also convinced that it was that. Excuse me. I just didn't read English properly. English is my first language, and I just can't do it. So, convinced.
That's not a drink. Don't drink. Just kidding.
Convinced it was Phipps, that was haunting them this whole time, the slaves decided they couldn't handle the torment anymore, that he just still hated them, and he was just destroying their lives even after he died. So they revolted by destroying Phipps's headstone, desecrating his grave, and killing his mistress. They beat her to death and all swore to secrecy where they left the body.
Ooh.
Rock and roll, baby. So,
And
I
she
don't
was
think
an
people,
asshole too, right?
Oh, she was the one that was
Yeah.
even worse than him.
Yeah.
So I don't think people even asked. They were like, she needed to go. She needed to go. Guys, this just screams haunted house
This
to
looks
me.
like a sludge, when you leave your computer too long, the screensaver comes on. It's just your Christmas photos. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I pulled it from Apple, so. So the Shadow Man, the dog, Yep, there's a Shadow Man coming up. Look, I even highlighted this part pink so I know where to start after a new slide, and I didn't even do it. So that's the trick. It has, okay, so after I'm sorry, I think I'm having a stroke. So.
You're doing so
We're almost done. I think if we're being honest, my medication is like my anti-anxieties are calming down, and now I'm like, oh fuck.
You're like, where am I?
So we're just gonna like tunnel vision through. So it has since passed through several owners, and the current owner bought it in 1987 and restored the home to the original design. I'm remembering when all of you were like, what? What shadow person? Sorry.
Good times.
I hate myself. So during the renovations, workmen were in the basement, and that was where the slave cells were located. And one of the workmen was down there with a buddy, and he looked up and froze in place and then just like bolted off, just took off screaming. The other guy's like, what is going on? That workman sprinted to his van and fled, leaving all of his tools and his fellow workers behind. Just ditched them. So now we know what he's like in an emergency.
Yeah.
Later, the man said that he looked up and when he felt someone staring at him, and when he looked towards that corner, he saw a shadow man materialize out of the wall, dressed in a dark suit that melted onto him. I don't even know what that means, but it's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next to him was a gigantic black dog.
Oh.
Oh, full circle. The dog had glowing red eyes, fangs exposed, and was snarling. The shadow man looked at him, grinned sadistically,
No.
pointed at him, nodded, and then the dog charged at him. He said the dog followed him up out of the basement to the van and even a little down the road before vanishing. So here's the part I almost read. The shadow man.
What shadow man?
The shadow man, the dog, Phipps, his daughter Rowena, and Priscilla, and the spirits who were slaves that were murdered on the property, they all walk the ground still, and during thunderstorms you can hear a dog howling inside the house. You can hear Phipps' evil laughter. Rumor has it, like I said, when it rains, that bloodstains still appear on the floor of the mansion. People have been seeing Rowena for over 125 years now, and she has earned the name Lady in White for her long white dress that she wears, and that was the dress that she wore the night that she went in the river. She is the most frequently seen spirit, and it is said that she is still looking for her first love. I think she should be looking for her daughter, but...
All right, Em. Jesus.
That's my 2 cents. And she has been seen sitting in her room on the 3rd floor looking out at the river where her first love died. She also walks on the lawn and the halls by herself. And there is another apparition assumed to be Phipps' daughter Priscilla who walks through the halls in the corner of your eyes. Objects get lost and found in odd places. A lantern, it has been seen frequently floating throughout the house by itself. Dangerous! The shadow man has been seen in nightmares and always comes from the same wall the workman saw him. One reported the shadow man to be upside down on the ceiling.
Oh, no. If you guys listen to the listener episode, someone submitted a story about the upside down man, and I've truly had nightmares about it. It's not good. It's not good.
People have felt a dog sniff their hand, and they've seen a white dress hiding behind their curtain. Like,
Fuck.
like, I don't know why, but it's just the creepiest. I just imagine someone broken and is wearing a dress. Sometimes...
And it's me. Surprise.
Sometimes people have heard a child's laugh in their face, and they will feel someone climb on top of them in bed when they sleep.
Oh, my God.
And that's that!
What? What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
All right, and now it's time for Christine's story, because I don't know what it is.
I just feel like I get to a point where I'm like so settled into your story, and then all of a sudden I have to freaking.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, okay, I've only got
It's over.
5 bullets
Exactly.
left.
Okay.
All right, here's the scoop.
Okay.
Wander Beauty is a new line of easy-to-use multitasking beauty products that help you make the most of your beauty routine no matter how little time you have.
I have no time for my beauty routine. But here's the thing, Christine, you do not shut up about Wander Beauty.
No, I don't.
You really like
It's
this
actually
stuff.
very annoying, I'm sure. Basically, I was going to a wedding in Connecticut, and my Wander Beauty products arrived as I was packing, and I was like, well, this is a sign from the heavens. So I truly just like got rid of all the makeup I had packed and then packed all my Wander Beauty stuff and opened it all at Blaze's house in Connecticut. And it was just a magical evening of getting ready. It was, I loved it very, 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 very much.
And also, when you're traveling, you definitely need to do it in a hurry.
Yeah,
And
that's true. That's true.
I mean, you know me with my beauty regimen. It takes 3 hours minimum. But for most of us, a 20-step full face of makeup every day just isn't going to happen. But I prioritize, which is different. That's what makes me
not
different.
everyone's you. Not everyone's can be the way that you are.
I go like double eyelash extensions and everything.
Sure. Like layered, feathered, all of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
But makeup should give you maximum impact with minimum effort. So I'm doing it wrong. And Christine, wow, you really just love that Wander Beauty.
I could try really hard to emulate you, but instead I just
Emulate
you. Jesus. But instead I go with Wander Beauty. And to be honest, I kind of like the decision. Basically, Wander was founded by a working mom of 2 and a supermodel.
Oh, well, me.
So one of us is the one was, I don't know who's who. Let's just put it that way. You guys can make that decision for yourselves. 2 women who are always on the move and know how to make the most of their precious time.
So Wander Beauty completely streamlines your beauty routine with fewer products that work better. And that means being more thoughtful about the stuff that you actually do.
It's clean, cruelty-free, and made with ingredients your skin will love, which is really important to me. I personally really love the foundation. I have a really hard time finding foundation. They also have a highlighter that accentuates my cheekbones.
Oh, jeez.
It's really lovely. I'm not kidding.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here.
So if it's time for you to make your morning with Wander Beauty just like Christine, you can get 20% off your purchase at wanderbeauty.com/drink.
That's 20% off your order by visiting wanderbeauty.com/drink.
Buckets.
These days, you can get practically everything on demand.
Like our podcast.
That's right. Listen whenever you want and when it's convenient for you. So why are you still taking trips to the post office, Em, to mail letters and packages?
Because I'm ignorant.
Well, I'm about to school you.
Yeah, blow my mind.
Well, now you can get postage on demand with Stamps.com.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
I know. I knew you would. With Stamps.com, you can access all the amazing services of the post office right from your own desk inside your own house.
Oh my.
24/7 when it's convenient for you.
You can buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package using your own computer and printer, and the mail carrier picks it up. You just click, print, mail, and you're done. It could not be easier.
What a dream. We use Stamps.com to send our shipments out from my house, which for a long time was an incredibly strenuous task.
Because we weren't using Stamps.com.
Because we weren't using Stamps.com, right. And Stamps.com has let us streamline the whole process and just made it a lot easier and smoother on our end and then ultimately on your end too, because you get your stuff faster.
If you ever want to hear a nightmare story, just ask us about our experiences before Stamps.com. Because, it's a godsend.
It was the dark ages, really.
Yes.
Right now, you guys can use Drink for a special offer that includes up to $55 of free postage, a digital scale, which, by the way, has helped me tremendously, and a 4-week trial.
So don't wait, guys. You just go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Drink.
It's like a big puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
It's an adventure.
Like a journey.
The journey. That's Stamps.com. Enter Drink.
So Em doesn't know my story, but it is the story. Now, see, everyone reacted like, I don't know your story. I don't know if people will know this story. This is the story of Paula Herring. Okay, well, it's kind of exciting because, to be honest, this is the story, apparently, that led to Nashville's first urban legend, which is, quote, lock your doors or you'll end up like Paula Herring, which is not catchy, but...
Yeah, they could have thrown some zest into it.
I tried to Google it a few times, and that's all that came up. But yeah, apparently that was Nashville's first urban legend, which obviously doesn't. Oh no, I got it. What do I have to hit?
Oh, that doesn't make me feel confident.
All right, I'll tell you when.
I'll
tell you when.
Okay.
So first off, I do want to say that I got a lot of this information from the Nashville Public Library. Read books. Also, also, I found this podcast called Something's Not Right, and it's like a Tennessee-focused... You guys know it? Oh my God. Okay, it's like a Tennessee-focused true crime podcast, and I was like, that's fucking amazing. Yeah, it's called Something's Not Right. So they did a 2-parter on this story, and it helped me a lot because they did a lot of research, and I was like, you guys are amazing. Okay.
Drink.
Sorry. Can you hit
Should
the
I be
button?
drinking with you guys? Yes.
Can you hit the button? Oh, this is
Okay.
the lovely Paula Herring. She's beautiful. She's a gem.
She's a babe.
So this story takes place in February of 1964. 18-year-old Paula Herring. She's a freshman in college at the University of Tennessee. The one that you know about. I don't know.
How many
The
are there?
good one, you know. Go what?
It's their base. It's not baseball.
Oh,
it's their
balls.
football team. Their football team. Volunteers.
Oh, go balls. Yep. Yeah, I love them.
Christine,
Okay.
just tell the story.
It's my second bullet. Help me. Okay. So when she graduated high school, Paula was, I don't know. I found this interesting. She's on the tennis team, the school magazine, secretary of her homeroom, the captain of the basketball team, and she was the captain of the bowling team. Now, here's the thing. I was also on the bowling team,
Me too.
but it was only because the guy I had a crush on was like, let's start a bowling team. And he smoked a lot of pot. I didn't know that, but I was like, okay, great, let's do it. So I made my mom buy me like a custom bowling ball. I'm a terrible bowler. So I was not the captain, but I was on my school's first bowling team. So I was like, let's, can we hit it?
Yeah.
I was like, let's make somebody draw and that's where you drink bowling team since we were both involved in a bowling team. So this is what happened. This is by Anna. And she was like, I can't do anything artistic. And I was like, this is a masterpiece. It is a Photoshop photo. It's fucking amazing. So
Is it photoshopped? I don't remember that.
correct?
I remember being there.
Correct. It is a real photograph, not altered at all.
It was so hard to like shave Gio's arms that day.
And make him stand upright and hold a 15-pound bowling ball? Yes, very
in
hard.
front of Jeffrey Dahmer.
And so okay, now, what do I hit? Can I do this one? The down one?
Yeah,
Okay.
but hold it for a second.
So here's the thing. Evan, right? Okay, so a man named Evan was like, I'm on an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico, but my wife is going to be at your show, and so I drew a drawing so I could be a part of the evening. And I was
Aw.
like, that's too sweet. So this is for you. But then I realized he didn't say your name. What is it?
Laura.
Laura? And so
So romantic.
I know. Look at her. She's so sweet. So he was like, I just want to be a part of the evening. And I just was like, and put 2 slides in. So this is also us with, and I thought he did a great job. Like, but also H.H. Holmes is penning Gio, and I don't trust that one bit.
I don't really know if I trust any of them.
And then
with Gio.
Eva tried to be like really calming. She's like, well, maybe he has like a soft spot. And I was like,
Maybe he's just a dog person. You know?
so that was from Evan for you, Laura.
Yay!
Listen, I'm a big old softie. I was like, that is the sweetest thing I ever did see in my whole gosh darn life. Okay, so let's go back to this. On the night of February 22nd, 1964, Paula is home from college, whichever college she went to, I don't know. She's visiting her family in the Creve Hall neighborhood of Nashville. Yeah. Yep. She persuades her mother to go out to dinner. She says, I'll babysit my younger brother, who's 6 years old. His name is Alan. And she's like, I'll babysit Alan while you go to dinner, and I'll work on my book report. And her book report was on All the King's Men, which is one of my favorite books, just saying. No.
Fun fact.
Read books. Nashville Public Library. I don't know. Okay, so her mother goes out to dinner. A couple hours later, when her mom returns home with the people that she was out to dinner with, she finds Paula's body lying face down in the living room. So her mother's name was Eva. Not to be, please don't relate her to our Eva. This is Eva, our Eva.
Look how happy she is.
I just want to clarify, that's us eating Hattie B's chicken.
We took this.
That's not the Eva I'm
4
talking
hours
about.
ago.
I'm not talking about that Eva. I'm talking about this Eva, okay? Remember that. This is this Eva.
That was a slick tie-in.
You'll have to understand later why it's important, okay? Jeez. So this is Eva Jo is her name. So Eva Jo is a nurse. So she finds her daughter on the ground in the house, and she drops to her knees, begins looking for her pulse, but unfortunately, Paula has been dead for about an hour and a half. Paula's mother, Eva, describes her body as looking ghostly, bloodied, and bruised. She had been badly beaten and strangled, but she had also been shot twice in her back and her upper left chest, and that's what killed her.
Oh, my God.
They found her sweater in a ball on the couch, and it had 2 bullet holes in it, so somebody had used it sort of as a silencer when they shot her. And little Alan, the 6-year-old that she was babysitting, so he was safely tucked in bed, and when they talked to him, he hadn't remembered the gunshots. However, while his mom and her friends were out, he did get out of bed to answer the phone, and he saw his older sister's body on the ground, and he thought she was sleeping and had spilled ketchup on herself.
Oh, no.
I know. So he really had no idea. And then he was like, oh, she fell asleep, and then he went back to bed.
That's so sad.
And waited for his mom to come home. So, yeah, really, really, really upsetting. Fortunately, he was okay, and he was fine, relatively speaking anyway. So actually, a couple of years earlier, Paula's dad, Wilmer, had actually been, he was found dead in a local hotel. He had taken his life by taking poison. So that was this is the second big tragedy in a couple of years in their family. Mm-hmm. And when police came to investigate Paula's death, they determined that she had actually fought back against the killer and had actually been shot while she was already on the ground because the bullets were in the floorboards.
Oh, okay.
So she was really brutally attacked while she was already down. And they noticed something else odd. Her copy of All the King's Men was missing. Creepy. Because her mom was she's doing this book report, and they're well, it's not here anywhere, and, So I'm just going to throw this in here. The book was later found in a field 75 feet from her house, in the wilderness, just in the brush.
Weird.
Yeah, nobody can really explain that. I don't know. I just thought that was a really creepy detail. So a few days later, the night manager of a Crystal with a K? Okay, I know White Castle. All right, hold on. Do you know Crystal with a K?
I know of it, but I don't have.
Do you know White Castle?
I know White Castle.
Okay, listen. I'm from Ohio. We have White Castle. Everybody, be quiet.
I know of Crystal. but we didn't have them in.
Well,
near
apparently
my
this
part of
crystal
Virginia.
still exists. So
Okay.
it is. Oh, I did find it. It is at 2613 Franklin Road. Listen. I'm not allowed to triangulate our location, but I can triangulate the location of the crystal. So I looked it up. It has 2 stars on Yelp. But that's okay. It's okay. Listen, people are really difficult on the internet. I don't know. Let's support local business. So, anyway, this is the 1960s. I thought it was cool that it still exists.
Yeah.
So, the night manager of the Crystal, that's apparently still there, picks a man out of a police lineup and identifies him as the same man who had apparently come into the restaurant covered in blood the night of Paula's killing. And he says, she says that she saw him fumbling through the restaurant's phone book, and he said he was having car trouble. So he's like, can you look up the number for a local service station to help fix my car?
Because he had heart troubles?
No, because he couldn't find his glasses.
This all makes sense.
So then she goes, well, what happened?
Right, yeah.
And guess what he says? I've had a rough night.
Apparently, he can't find his glasses, he has heart trouble, and he needs a service for his car.
Me too. So Then, so that happened. And then a man named Al Baker contacts police and is like, I have some pretty serious information. He says, my friend and drinking buddy, 39-year-old John Randolph Clark, a.k.a. Red, because he had red hair. People were very clever. I don't know if you can remember that connection. So Clark...
I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah,
I'll log it away.
You can try. So Al tells police that his buddy Clark left the dinner they were eating that night of Paula's murder at around 9 p.m. and said he's going to visit a girl from college who was babysitting that night. Red flag number 1.
Red.
Yes.
Flag.
Red flag. Red flag, correct. Al also told authorities that Clark knew Paula and Eva, the mother, and he said that Clark had actually been drinking heavily on the day of the murder. So obviously police went after him, and Clark went in voluntarily to speak with the police, and he refused to look at crime scene photos of Paula, but he was interviewed for 11 hours, and he was actually released because they couldn't find enough evidence on him. So this is just some information about Clark himself. So he was a veteran of World War II. He was the son of a judge, a local judge. So he was kind of like a high-status guy in the area. His ship had been torpedoed on D-Day, and he had to swim to shore before being found 2 days later. So he was on shore, like near death for 2 days. And so after that, he suffered from pretty severe blackout spells, apparently, for the rest of his life. And but the only trouble, like the only legal trouble he had ever been in was at school. He went to Tennessee Tech. Nobody likes that. Good.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Not even one person was like, yeah.
I heard 4 people go,
Yeah, I heard a lot of distaste.
He went to Tennessee Tech, and he had to withdraw from the school after.
Apparently for the best.
Hold on. Let me tell you the terrible thing he did.
What?
After an incident at a school football game where he staged an impromptu cheerleading session at halftime. What a fucking asshole, am I right?
He's worse than Joshua Phipps.
It's hard, but I think he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he apparently had to withdraw after his cheerleading session that he choreographed. I don't know. So, and then after that, a traffic cop, a local Nashville traffic cop, testified that he had sold Clark a pistol and a box of shells. And he also told police that 2 months prior to the murder, a group of people, are you ready for this? Saw Clark firing a gun into a snowbank outside a Christmas party.
Sounds like a good party.
So, obviously, I requested that people draw me shooting a snowbank, and this is what I received from Aries. It's a beautiful drawing. People are very talented.
That doesn't even look drawn. That looks like an oil painting.
They're very talented. And so...
I like the water gun. She's shooting the little water gun.
I just really like this. So this is the shooting a snowbank. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. So... drink. So, police went to search for the bullet that was apparently at the scene of this Christmas party, and they could not find anything. The next day, so they spent several hours looking. The next day, they went back, and lo and behold, the bullet is just casually there on the sidewalk for them to find. And they're like, okay, and they took it. But it's a little fishy. So on February 28th, Clark was charged with the murder of Paula Herring after finding the bullet.
Right.
As well as assault with intent to ravish.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
sound
figured
like an idiot, but what does ravish mean?
Rape, maybe, is what I'm thinking.
Okay. Got it.
Cannibal. Listen, I don't know. I didn't say it. They said it. Okay. So his trial starts on September 21st, 1964 in Jackson, Tennessee. Listen, I just pause. I'm like, people are going to shout. Nobody's shouting.
Or they're going to go,
That's true. That went way worse than I expected. It turns out that Clark, who, by the way, was also married, had gone over to Paula's and told his buddies that he had hoped to have sex with her. He actually, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He went to Paula's house, hoped to have sex with her mother, Eva Jo.
What?
Because they knew each other. They had met at a pool hall.
That's a real twist.
Sorry. And then he said, but if that didn't work out, he'd just wait for Paula to come home so that he could sleep with her instead.
Oh, okay. I like his plan B. Got it.
So this is right. So he actually is like, I believe he's 37, and Paula is 18 at this point. So it's highly questionable. Thank you for asking, because I forgot to mention that. Also highly questionable. So he's like hoping to sleep with her mom, and then is like, and he had like met her mom before, and then was like, well, if she didn't show up, at least I can sleep with the daughter, which is not cute. Although, again, this is the best friend testifying this. So this is not like, he's not admitting to this.
Got
He
it.
denies everything, just to clarify. So he denies everything. He says Al is lying, but surprise, surprise, on September 25th, 1964, he is convicted, and the jury recommends a 30-year prison sentence. And the judge instates that prison sentence, but ultimately it's reduced significantly, and after only 9 years, he is released.
What?
But this is where the plot thickens.
It's where it gets bananas.
Shot. I was going to say shit gets wild, but then I just yelled shot, and then I realized it's too late to go back.
Freudian slip.
Take
Freudian
a
slip.
shot. So shit gets wild here.
All right.
Let me change the...
We're all on the edge of
Oh.
our seats.
So this man...
I don't know either, just so you know.
Usually
So-
I yell at Eva to edit that out. Eva, edit that out. Okay. So, a man by the name of Michael Bishop releases a book last year in 2017 called Murder in Music City. There it is. And he claims that Clark, Red, a.k.a. Red, was set up, and the real murderer of Paula actually got away with it. So, this is a 300-page book. So
you read it all for this exact
and I did,
show.
and I'm going to read it for you right now. Everybody settle in.
Buckle up.
This is a 17-hour show. Get ready. So I was like, okay. No, I would never do that to you. So I will sum up for you. So here's the thing. Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Emotional roller coaster.
Surprise, surprise. Every turn, there's another
turn.
There's another Christine being really confused. Okay. So Michael Bishop, he is this amateur detective. He is kind of browsing around the archives in Nashville, and he stumbles upon the box containing information about Paula's murder. And this is in 1997. And he notices something odd. So there is a letter in this box from then Mayor Beverly Briley explaining Mayor Briley's presence in Paula's neighborhood the day of her murder.
Uh-oh.
So there is this letter, truly, from the mayor that says, I was in Paula's neighborhood on this evening because I was, visiting a friend. And it never became part of any sort of, investigation. It didn't become part of the trial.
Ooh.
The press didn't have a hold of this. So he's like, that's odd, and starts looking into it. So he spent 20 years researching the case and just released the book last year. And he did his own detective work, and he believes... Okay, so now I did do some digging here, because he does not like to reveal the ending of his book because it just got released, but I'm going to spoil it for you. So if you don't... So I didn't read the 300 pages, but I did just...
You read the last one.
I went into the deep web and found
Right.
the last chapter. The dark web, thank you. So... I'm going to tell you what happens. Listen, plug your ears if you don't want to know. But you do, because it's really interesting, and you're not going to read a 300-page... I know I told you... Listen.
Read books, but not this one.
No, read the book. It's great. But
don't be
But
surprised.
you're not going to, right? Okay. So...
I'm not going to read it, I'll tell you that.
I know you're not. Okay. So, Bishop... He releases this book, right? He believes, this is what he believes, Paula's mother, Eva Jo, had been socializing with some very important local officials at the time, including the mayor, who was an extremely heavy drinker. This is why I want you to disassociate our Eva with this Eva. Thank you. This is why I made a clarification. Then Bishop, who wrote this book, found a previously unpublished photo showing the woman who had discovered Paula's body. And guess what? She was the mayor's mistress.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes.
It's honestly, it's just funny. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
hate
No,
you. So essentially what he's claiming is that the mayor wrote a letter explaining why he was in Paula's neighborhood not because he actually was in the neighborhood, but because his mistress was in the neighborhood and he wanted to protect her to protect his own career because he didn't want anyone to reveal that, he had a mistress. So I didn't read wrote in my notes, I didn't read the book. Thank you, me, for reminding me that I didn't read the book.
Self-awareness is important.
Yeah, I'm good at it. I didn't read the book. And so, again, Bishop does not like to tell the ending, but essentially what happened is, this gets pretty fucking wild. He tracks down a guy who had been in the house on the night of Paula's murder, finds him in the nursing home that he's currently living in, gets kicked out, then comes back and is like, listen, this is my only chance to freaking interview. Yes, drink. Thank you. I see one person drinking. This is my one chance to get like any information. He literally said like, this guy kicked me out and I was feeling terrible for harassing him. And then he's like, this is my last chance to get any sort of answers.
Right.
So he goes back. Now, this is me. I am a brave
Investigative
warrior.
journalist.
You know me. Really confrontational. So he goes back, and he basically talks to him and is like, tell me what happened. And I'm going to spoil it. Okay, ready? Here we go. So
We've been waiting, man.
Listen, I just love to build this like pressure that
It's
I'm
there. You built well.
So
Wait, let's talk about something else, though.
let's go back to those photos of Gio. That was fun. So when this guy in the nursing home finally speaks, apparently, according to Bishop, he let out a loud, high-pitched sound as if he was, quote, exhaling after having held his breath for 50 years.
Oh.
End quote. Then broke down in tears and told Bishop everything that had happened on the night of Paula's murder.
Oh.
So this man, this witness who was living in the nursing home, his name was changed in the book, but he said that one of the nurses who was there with Eva Jo, Paula's mother, and was having drinks with Paula and the mother and the mayor's mistress and all that, kind of highfalutin party crowd.
My scene.
Yes, that's us. She got into an argument with Paula about their lifestyle because Paula was like home from college and kind of confronted her mother about like the lifestyle she was leading with, her 6-year-old son at home. And then this woman, this nurse, who was also not identified, shot and killed Paula. And then Paula's own mother helped cover it up and helped arrange the sort of witnesses that, like the people at the Crystal who saw a strange man. Oh, hi. So basically he thinks, and this person at the nursing home said, yeah, this is what happened.
Got it.
And then, so he's not saying it's impossible that Clark, who was, convicted and went to prison for Paula's murder, he's not saying it's impossible that he was the murderer, but he's basically saying, like, what his belief is that the real motive turns out to be that Paula Herring knew about some of the activities of very powerful people in Nashville, and she confronted her mother about it, and there was a group of people with her mother, and things got heated, and her mother tried to protect her reputation, the mayor's reputation, everybody involved.
That's noble.
And some of the, yes, correct. Some of the details actually do fit this theory. So the snowbank bullet, remember they didn't find a bullet, and then the next day, after 10 hours of searching, it just was suddenly on the sidewalk.
She just go over and just drop
somebody.
it?
They believe somebody went and just like tossed the bullet of the gun that killed her onto the sidewalk. And then the photos, obviously, of the mayor's mistress that were never released, and then that letter that was never released.
What about the book?
Sketchy. What book?
The Three Kings.
Oh, that they don't. I just thought that
Outlier.
was a weird detail.
Got it.
I don't really know how that ties in.
That was like someone else
I just
involved.
thought that was
put that there.
super creepy. It's like a red herring. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a red herring.
Really threw him off.
And then it also turns out that when Paula died, her mother, Eva Jo, didn't buy her a headstone and just kind of buried her and never put a marker after like several.
Oh my God.
Frick! I keep hitting the button. After several decades of after her death, never put a headstone or anything. Just very like strange details that never really added up. And then so Eva Jo herself died in 1976 in Waco. So there's no obviously bringing her to justice. But Paula's friend from high school, they were in the basketball team together. And her name is Kay Knox, and she recently said, "I think it's justice for Paula that this book was released.
Right.
I think it's finally what sets her situation free." And actually, a few months ago, a gathering of Paula's former classmates had a reunion, a high school reunion, and they invited Michael Bishop, the author, to come speak to her
nice.
classmates, which was really cool. And he pledged his share of the book's proceeds to the new Paula Herring Scholarship Fund.
Aww.
Which I thought was really awesome.
Happy ending.
It's really great. And they had a seat reserved for Paula. And that's it. And I guess it was just like very sad and everyone was crying. And there's photos of it where it's like class of, 1962, 1963. And it's just everyone's just kind of like crying in their seats.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very sad.
God.
So that's why I wanted to end on a high note. So I did a depressing... I was like...
That'll do it. That's topical.
And some of them were really on the nose. They were like, yeah, depressing high school reunion, someone's dead. And I was like, no, we can't go that route.
we can't work with reality.
We can't work with reality. We got to escape it. So that's why I used this as a prompt. And my favorite one, I think, was this one. It says, homeschool reunion. And then it says, my mom didn't even show up. And it's just very sad.
That's kind of genius.
I just love that it's like a homeschool high school reunion, and his mother didn't even show up.
That's a good one.
Anyway, so that is the story of Paula Herring, and she inspired Nashville's first urban legend, and apparently you didn't know about it, but now you do. Woo! Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. We love you very much.
Nashville was where our
Holds
first
a special place in our
live
heart.
show ever was.
We did our weird, awkward, like conference room live show at a crime con.
Yeah, I was just as nervous today as I was then.
No, you were way more nervous.
Okay, that's true. No, I'm not sweating too bad right now, I don't think.
Sweating. We're really sweating profusely. Drink! They just want to drink, Em. Let them have it.
But no, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Nashville really does mean a lot to us. This was like the next chapter of this. And now, like, again, we can't say too much, but live shows are about to be a much bigger thing that we do. And so... And there's some very... also things we can't talk about.
Renata posted something today on the internet. She posted... I texted her a photo, and I was like, why isn't she responding? And then I got a notification 10 minutes later, like, Renata posted something on Facebook, and I was like, oh, for God's sakes. And it was a photo of us, like, outside. It was like the poster of us outside Zanies, and it was really sweet. But then she goes, Em and Christine are on the first leg of their USA tour. And I was like, oh, okay.
If that's what you want to call it.
Let's call it that. It sounded so baller. I was like, okay.
But live shows are definitely coming out more, and in the future, hopefully more things come up. But we're trying to make this like a career, and I mean, we always thank you guys on the show anyway, so we might as well thank you now. But we were just talking on the way here, where I was like, Christine, we haven't even been doing this for 2 years, and 2 years ago, Christine and I weren't even friends.
I don't think we really even liked each other very much.
Fuck you, I liked you. Well, you're stuck with me now.
We're going to have to talk later.
I know. Poor Eva, she's got to be our
kidding.
peer mediator.
It's just funny.
Yeah, honestly, it's just fucking funny. No, it's fine. No, I think you're great too. I love how you'll just wear anything. And how you just...
All right, you're going too far.
You just say whatever you want.
You're crossing a line.
No, but really, Christine, you're my best friend, and I love you so much.
You're my best friend!
And we would not be here at all if it weren't for you guys. And
thank you. You're my best friend. You're all my best friend. Thank you. We love you.
And
that's
why
we
drink!